this part 2. But yeah, so the judges, they want to make sure that they're getting paid. Whether it's the Bar Association, the British Admiralty Registry, or the judge, or the police, or your lawyer, public defender, the doctor, your school teacher, all this stuff. All these people are bribing you. They shouldn't have been getting paid for something that they enjoy doing. I comprehend that you guys say that, yeah, we should be getting paid for what we do, but if you have to get paid for what you do, that must mean you don't love what you do enough to do it from your pure heart, from a sincere heart and pure intent. If you didn't get paid, would you really want to be a judge or a doctor or a teacher or a mechanic or whatever job you do, or working at McDonald's or Burger King? Most likely no, because you're not getting paid for it. Therefore, those who truly do love doing that would do it for free. Like I share these videos with you guys for free, although I do charge for certain things, but I make sure that I keep a limit and a restriction between what I sell and what I don't sell, and why I'm doing it. Because sometimes I do need a help too, but at the same time, I just give it out for free. I give the information out for free because some people need this to become free and become redeemed. Yeshaya. Through the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Yeshaya. Yeshaya means truth. You see, and when you know truth, it shall set you free. The truth is, those who are getting paid to work are not working with the best and sincere intent in heart, and over time they change. Especially if you start paying like a spiritual person for reading your natal charts and all this other stuff, which you're not supposed to be doing, because it's an abomination to the Most High. According to the Bible, it's wickedness, it's witchcraft, or man's craft, or craft of man. Anyways, when you start paying a spiritual person for readings and stuff like that, eventually the motive change over time. They may not notice it. They may just make up a reading for you real quick, or just rush through one just to make sure they get paid. Therefore, that's a form of bribery. No one should get paid for something they love doing. But it's great to donate and gift and share if we wish, and to give charity and to tithe. That's fine. That's based on free will. Each individual's free will, but not by force. And trade is fine. If you're trading and bartering, that's fine. I give you this for that, that's fine. But if you're like, hey, I'm going to charge you, in order for me to judge between you and him, I'm going to have to charge you by the hour. My motive may not be the same then. Alright, we're going to be learning also about perjury. Perjury is lying under oath, especially under affidavits. Affidavits of truth. Affidavits is a sworn statement, and affidavits are the only way and the best way to beat court cases and to put things into the public record and state your facts. You use affidavits for liens, you do affidavits for claims, you do affidavits to discharge charges, you use affidavits to discharge debt, you use truth affidavits, sworn affidavits, specific affidavits, whatever type of affidavit you're using. Do research on the types of affidavit to pretty much state your truth, because affidavit, plain and simple, is truth stated under risk, pains, penalties of perjury, treason, and a list of other charges. And also, it puts you in your unlimited commercial liability. So it takes you completely out of your element, out of your comfort zone, put everything on the line like a gamble. And if you lie, commit perjury on the affidavit, all the penalties and punishment in the affidavit falls upon your head. You see what I'm saying? Now you can be penalized and punished and have your property levied and seized and all this other stuff. Liened and levied. Turn into account receivable, which means now you can receive something from this person because they have proved that they're a liar, that they're a perjurer, that they're treasonous, that they have possibly injured you because they're lying now, which means they're probably lying about the whole thing, which discredits them altogether. It's a form of dishonor. It's meritless to lie, and it's unequal. We're going to be learning about treason, maladministration, where they're misappropriating your funds and going into your Social Security and using that to pay their self without telling you, and still charge you for the case, or still charge you for the mortgage or the loan without telling you that they've been paid already through your Social Security. Matter of fact, your jobs pay you through your Social Security. That's why they need it. They don't pay you by the money they make from the customers in the register. They pay you through your Social Security because it's an account, and you can use that account and that contract, which is the birth certificate and the social, to discharge debt. You see what I'm saying? If you don't, you become reliable for those debt, and they can use it against you. So the social stuff, it can be a blessing or a curse and stuff like that. More likely it's a curse because it's a deal with the devil anyway. The government is the devil. They're the adversary. Once again, Satan is the accuser. Satan is also the adversary. Satan is the deceiver. Or you can say that Satan is another word for accuser, for adversary and deceiver. He's a great deceiver. He deceives. He lies to your sense. That's why you need license and all this stuff. And he try to govern your mental. That's why you have governmental. He sucks the money out of you and sucks the life out of you like a tick, poly-tick. There are many ticks. Police, they're like lice. They just get stuck in your head and stuck in your skin, and all your stuff won't leave. Once again, it's an adversary. It's very disagreeable, malevolent. They're the accuser, the one who's accusing you of wrong. Same one who accuses Shia of all this and that. And they're a deceiver, which means they're just there to deceive. So we're going to be learning about Satan a little bit. We're going to be learning about positive law instead of negative law. We're going to learn about being just, principles of contract. What are basic principles of contract and stuff like that, which will help form the foundation you need to understand what you're getting into. Because bottom line, the whole system is consent and contract. We're going to be learning about free will, which is important. Your will is free, and you can choose what you want to do with it free willingly. Whatever you consent to and contract with. We're going to learn about full disclosure, because full disclosure is important. It's part of contract. Fidelity, honesty, truth, good faith, sound mind. Why it's important to have a sound mind and state on your paperwork that you have a sound mind, so you don't sound like you're crazy or wacko and, out of your mind when you start to state some of these things, you know what I'm saying, which are truths. And you're going to need that in your affidavits, letting them know ahead of time in your intro in your affidavits that you come with a sound mind, that you're not here to mislead, that everything you're stating is truth to the best of your ability, and it's under penalties of perjury, under your unlimited liability and all this stuff, commercial liability, and you're not misleading, and you produce evidence in all your cases. Evidence is number one. If there's no evidence, there's no jurisdiction. Evidence is jurisdiction, because evidence is evidence of contract. Evidence and proof is evidence and proof of consent. It's actually substance. You see, it's actually substance, which makes it of a value. It solidifies the risk. You see what I'm saying? Because if you have proof and evidence, you have substance. You have something tangible. You can show them like, hey, I have this paper in my hand. This is the proof. I have the paper right here in my hand. Like this is proof. So therefore, if you have proof, you have substance. But if there's no proof or evidence, you have no substance. If there's no substance, there's no constituent to your case. There's no parts to your case. If there's no parts to your case, there's no subject. If there's no subject, why are we in court? Therefore, what's the matter? Therefore, there's no subject, there's no matter. If there's no subject and matter, where's the jurisdiction coming from? And why should there be any jurisdiction over something with no case, no subject, no matter, no evidence, no proof? There's no foundation to this thing. There's no dirt for the plant. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, if there's no subject or matter or jurisdiction, there's no case. If there's no jurisdiction, which is consent, contract, proof, or evidence of anything, some type of true bill, an invoice, a receipt, certified mail, registered mail, something, a return signature, whatever it may be, then there's no case. So therefore, you need your evidence, you need your proof, you need some videotape, some audio and stuff. You need some proof. Public notice, you need the public record and stuff to state these things. So this is how we use the system and the laws against them who've been using it against us the whole time. And I'm using the authority of the holy book of the King James Bible, and this is a law book, man. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to really use it and stuff, because I've been explaining who the 12 tribes of Israel is. And like I told you, REMEDIES, Levi is the Haitians, Judah is the so-called Negroes, the so-called Africans. They're not African and stuff because that's the tribe of Ham. We're from the tribe of Shem and Abraham, descendants of Isaac and Jacob. Jacob's the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel is the Haitians, which is Levi, Judah, REMEDIES, which is the so-called Negroes, African, Benjamin, Banyamyan, which is the so-called Trinidadians, Jamaicans, so-called, all this stuff. We've been separated because we broke the covenant with the Most High. And covenant is another word for contract. Contract is a law of the universe. The sun, the orbit of the planets, the stars, everything has a contract with spirit, with the Most High, before it exists and move in its circuit based on perfect harmony, perfect order, synchronistic timing and everything. So everything has its timing and it's synchronistic. There's an order to everything. There's a law to everything because law is order. Order, law, and harmony is the same thing. Order, law, and harmony is jurisdiction. Therefore, the Most High is the only sovereign and it has jurisdiction over all things because it breathes life into us. It endows us with rights. It creates us in its image. And when it's out of the mirror and not in the picture, we're no longer reflection, which means we don't exist no more. So therefore, there's only one God, and that God is the creator of all things, and it is what it is. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. So evidence and proof is important. So is subject matter jurisdiction. In the federal system and all that stuff, they call that SMJ. Subject matter jurisdiction. SMJ. They go hand in hand. Subject would be like a statute, for instance, or a law that you broke based on the condition and term in the contract. So the subject is what you broke. What is the subject? Well, in the jurisdiction, in other words, in the contract that he had consented to, that I have proof that he signed and agreed to, he had broke this particular law or term or condition or stipulation that we have in this agreement, which is the subject. And what is the matter? What did he break? How did he break it? Well, he broke it by doing this and that, which is contrary to our agreement. There was no full disclosure, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Now you have subject matter jurisdiction. You see? So SMJ is important. Alright, a couple of other things we're going to be talking about also is they're all going to be one, because everything I'm saying is pretty much really one concept. It's one view. It's truly one word, like marriage, contract, consent, binding, bond. Same thing. But they separate the word so much in the English language. People think no, marriage is between a man and a woman, a human. It's not the same as contract. No, marriage and contract's not the same as consent and cooperation or cooperation or partnership. It's not the same thing as a business. Oh, no. Love and marriage and bond and binding and contract is not the same thing. Yes, they are. It's the same thing. It's covenant. It's the law of the land. Therefore, when you get in a contract, you consent to something, you are in a marriage. When you're in a marriage, you're in a consent. You are in a contract. And that gives the subject matter jurisdiction. Is that marriage, your vow, your oath, the oath of office. All this stuff will help you see what we're in, where to go, and how to break free from this darkness with your light. Because your light eliminates dark, where it shines in the dark and it not exit, not execute. Hold on, pardon me. Okay, your light expels the dark, pretty much. So we're going to be learning about marriage, which is contract. Marriage and contract is bond. We're not going to be talking about marriage between man and woman and all that stuff, but I'll link what it's trying to say though overall, because it's the only way to divorce your contracts and agreements, or revoke your contracts, or terminate your contracts, which is another form of divorce. So I got to explain it so you guys understand it in one. We're going to talk about being binded, bringing things together, being binded into one, like one world order. They're trying to bind us together under one law, one rule, one leader, and one currency, and their fictitious one God, which is really S-A-T-A-N or S-A-T-U-R-N, S-A-T-U-R-N. Saturn, or Saturday, or Satan. I rebuke him and throw him into the bottomless pit ASAP in the name of Christ Yeshua. We dispel his presence ab initio. So we're going to be learning about obligations, covenants, breaches of contract and stuff, because this is important, especially with the government breaching the Constitution of America right now. Whatever constitution you may be in, wherever you're at, because constitution means contract, and the Constitution don't apply to you unless you have a contract with the government. So therefore the statutes and the Constitution only apply to the government to restrict them, to limit them, and keep them bounded by certain rules that they won't breach, because we gave them power or delegated power to them so they won't breach certain rights and certain boundaries, and also stay within certain bounds and boundaries and limits, as well as execute certain orders, demands, and obligations which we bestowed upon them, responsibilities which we bestowed upon them when we hired them and voted for them and elected for them. Therefore, if you didn't vote for them, elect for them, or anything like that, they're not hired by you. And if you hired them and you voted for them and they break the contract and the rule, therefore there's a breach of obligation. We're going to talk about penalties, because this is how we form contracts and liens and all this. Liens, suits, how to sue, damages, like you know how you're damaged when they break the law and what you can do, levies, consent, in the three parts to contract, which is a contract must be entered willingly, consciously, consciously mean full disclosure as well, with full disclosure, absolute full disclosure. Everything not included is excluded, and everything included is not included. So it must be consent. There must be pardon me. There must be pardon me. Not just condition, not just consent. Okay, offer, consent, and consideration. Offer, consent, consideration. Everything's an offer until there's a consideration. Everything's an offer until there's a consideration and consent, approval, authorization. But if there's no authorization, approval, or consideration, which is fair exchange, then there is there's no consent or contract yet to the offer. It's still an offer. Therefore, when they're offering you a ticket or offering you to appear in court or a bond and all this stuff, it is an offer to contract. Therefore, I do not consent to this offer to contract. I do not consent to this conversation. But if I am forced to speak to you or perform, I am doing it under duress and coercion. You are literally raping me of my right. I do not want to get shot. I do not want to get gunned down or have my children taken away. I do not want to be abused, and I do not want to go to jail. Therefore, I am performing under fear, without my will, without my consent, pretty much. I'm doing this under force. And it's force because I don't want to die. I'm doing it out of fear. It's coercion. I don't have the time to think. It's not conscionable. So there's three parts to a contract: offer, consent, and consideration. It must be done free willingly, consensually, and with full disclosure. We're going to talk about will, trust, because everything's a trust. Once you get into a contract, consent, a marriage is a trust. Trust rules everything. Your Social Security is actually a trust. Your Social Security agreement and the birth certificate, it's a trust. It's a trust account. And therefore, whoever you made this contract with is a trustee. You are a beneficiary or a trustor. Technically, the straw man, the legal fiction, is the trustor, because they're the one who's the principal. But you're the one writing for it and endowing it with life by writing for it and consenting for it. And you can make certain agreements with the straw man, like I have done, which I have apostilled, by discharging your birth certificates and stuff like that. Getting your name copywritten and trademark. You can also get your act of state, which is correcting your status. I can't show you everything right now, but you must correct your status and all this stuff. And there's a lot of stuff you have to do. It's a whole redemption packet, so it's not just verbally speaking. You must have document to execute the truth. Renunciation of attempted operation, act of state, reaffirmation of character, because you must reaffirm your character and all this stuff. I don't know if you can see that well. My lighting isn't too great. Pardon me. There's a bunch of paperwork that you have to do. And you must get it apostilled, authorized representative contracts, you know, between you and the straw man or the business, where it's proof that you are authorized representative by the way of contract, which is the law of the land, and no one can interfere with that. By the way, there might be a few parts to this video because of my tape stopping at the wrong time. I'm doing this on my phone because my computer been having difficulty, so bear with me. So authorized representative contracts between you and whatever business. Everything must be done on paper. Also affidavits of notary presentment and treasury packet. I have a video talking about this. This is called the redemption packet, but I don't know if you can see any of that. It's a couple of stuff that you must do, you know. Pardon me. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork you gotta do, man. It's truly simple. I used to mess with the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code, which is the Code of Commerce. Every commercial business is under UCC. This is the law that the United States Incorporated is under. They use it to claim property and make public document of liens that they already have on houses and claims that they already have on places. It's an international public record, pretty much, UCC. It also makes you into a secured party creditor and make whoever you're claiming as debtor a debtor, and you can claim their property and collateral and use this to enforce liens, which is interest on property. I made videos about that too, which I've already done. There's also power of attorney paperwork, where the straw man makes you power of attorney of it. I don't know if you guys can see that too. Let me see if I can get a flashlight on here, because it's nighttime. It's actually Sabbath day, like 2 or 3 hours after into Sabbath night. I meant Sabbath night, because Sabbath day, Sabbath night, Yawam Shabbat begins at evening. So as you can see right here, it says power of attorney paperwork between me and the straw man, which is done in affidavits. Everything's done in affidavits. Commercial security agreement with the straw man, where the straw man gives you all of his property and all of his belongings based on contract, because you and the straw man is legally not the same, and you're making sure no one's deceived and they know the truth, that you're not the straw man and the straw man is not you. Therefore, you're going to be performing through it as if you're actual power of attorney for it. Pardon me. Alright, so this the commercial security agreement. Some of this paper is private, so I can't, you know, show you all of it to the screen. There's a private property list, where there's a list of all your property on it, and you're claiming that this is all your property, so no one touches it, and you put rules and terms based on this property. So when you go to court, if anyone have touched your property, just like copyright infringement, you can actually charge them for the property that they took, per person, per charge, per offense, per property. There's indemnity liens and stuff, which is insurance liens, where the straw man indemnifies you and ensure you that if anything happens, it will pay off the debt and stuff. I can't really show you it right now in here. Let's continue. There's the hold harmless and indemnity agreement, which is important because this is what's going to create the insurance. The straw man holds you harmless. You're harmless. You're not harmful. It makes the straw man the all caps name debtor, and it makes you the upper and lowercase name, capital M, lowercase a, etc., the creditor, because the upper and lowercase name is the creditor. And what you want to say is that you're of the etc. family. Like for me, I don't say my name is McIntosh Jean or Mikael Israel. I would say I am Mikael of the Israel family, or McIntosh of the Jean family. Or I'm just McIntosh, or some people call me by the name of McIntosh, they call me by the name of Gene, or they call me by the name of MJ. I have no name because a name is a fictitious title, by the way. Look in the Black's Law Dictionary. I have no fictitious title because I am existence, I am of substance, I am tangible, I am living. There's a truth affidavit, notice of understanding, intent, and claim of right, where you're claiming your right, and you're making a notice of what you understand and the only thing you stand under, and your intent, which is important in certain cases in discharging debt. Stick with me, guys. I know this is pretty in depth. I'm gonna have a couple of parts to this video, more than I thought. There's a copyright, the natural common law, trademark, and copyright affidavit, which is in the form of affidavit pretty much. It's a copyright and trademark, where you copyright the all caps name, which is a corporate name, and you can copyright whatever name you want. And I have all these agreements, which I'll give to you for a condition of $10 per affidavit if you want, or you can just copy it off online from my other videos, because I made videos, you know, about each paperwork. So I got a bunch of videos. You can go through it and write it on your own, or look for it through the net if you can find it. Took me a lot, and some of this I made myself. But if you want to get all these affidavits and the documents I have, I'll give it to you for a consideration of $60. And I'll give you all the, you know, stuff that I have to share with you to help you become free and redeemed in the name of Christ Yeshua HaMashiach. Let's continue. Trademark, copyright, power of attorney, commercial agreement, peace treaty. That's important to let them know that you come in peace, that you're not trying to hurt anyone in the game. You're just stating the truth and protecting your assets and your rights. There's also the legal notice in demand, attachment B, which is the definitions of everything. You're sending them a list of definitions. Whoever you're sending these paperwork to, affidavits, send them a definition of the words you're using, and you know which words. You know which words they don't understand, or which words they'll pretend they don't understand, like levy and lien and affidavit and stuff like that and all that. So send them a list of definitions so they don't act dumb. This locks them in, because now they can't be like, well, I don't understand this and that, especially when they don't reply. There's also, hold on, pardon me. There's also the notice, the legal notice in demand. This is a title for a title of protection. This right here goes to your Secretary of State. It looks somewhat like this. Let me see if I get that light up on there again. Hold on, pardon me. So this right here is called the legal notice in demand. You're giving them a legal notice and you're demanding them that they don't apply their laws to you and that you're exempt and all this stuff. And it goes into detail with penalties and violations and all that stuff in it. You can also claim houses, not for free, but it is for free technically, but prepaid because of the social, and because there's no real money or substance, which is gold and silver. There's only promise to pays. Therefore, a promise to pay don't need to be on green paper. It can be on any paper, toilet paper, napkin, whatever and stuff. I promise to pay you this. As long as there's signatures on it, endorsement, consent, stipulations, agreements, the price, the value, expiration dates and stuff like that, you got a bond. You can make your own bonds literally. So there's power in us. We have powers. This right here is a claim of ownership, claim of property, private property, claim of land, and claim of title, which I had conjured to claim property. I haven't had much funds to continue doing everything, so therefore that's why I kind of halted at the second. I hope you guys see this. Alright. Let's continue. Alright, and that's my paperwork on that. I got my birth certificate, which is the bond accepted for value, front and back, endorsed. and sent to the Treasury, because that's where you're going to send it. Some paperwork go to IRS, some paper go to Secretary of State, some paperwork go to whoever's claiming you owe them and stuff. And these laws that I'm going to state to you through these videos and the foundation of contract and all that's going to help you understand why you can do this, where your power come from, the authority, all that. Also, there's my specific declarative affidavit of fact, which is a declaration of nationality, race, sovereign indigenous status, claim of divine rights, and name correction. And by the way, if I was you, I would not use flags and stuff, because it's idolatry in a way. So there's a lot of things I'm learning, and I'm not Moorish. Well, I am Moorish American, but I'm not Islamic, because I'm not Arab. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I'm Moorish Hebrew Israelite, which means I'm a dark-skinned, melanated Hebrew Israelite, because Moor mean dark skin. Also mean a couple of other stuff, land and stuff like that. But I'm Moorish, not Negro or black. And this is not my flag. This is a pagan Moabite flag, which I learned late. This is the Haiti flag, Haitian Republican flag, the first black Republican. And this is the European American flag right here, which states that I'm from America. So I am a Moorish, Haitian, American, Hebrew Israelite. I'm all about unity. The pyramids belong to us, to our people. And Matthew 21, chapter 21, verse 42, 43, and 44 give me my authority. And there's also the Liberty Bell, which is in Leviticus 25, section 10, section 16 and 17, and the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. Because the 13th Amendment with 20 sections is what emancipated us and made us free. Therefore, you can use that against them, because Abraham Lincoln had freed us through that, or so-called freed us, but he really didn't. He enslaved us through the new revised version of the 13th Amendment and all this other stuff, which makes your 13th and 14th Amendment slave, or surety, or trustee, or cattle for the state, or debtor, or citizen of the foreign, international, transcontinental, and corporate foreign British Admiralty registry, which you register with when you do what you call register. So, this is what I've been doing. There's a lot of other paperwork I do. I will be opening a school soon to be teaching you guys more. If you would like to help me out in creating this school, it's called Spiritually Sovereign and Indigenous Creditors of Mother Earth. Sovereign and indigenous, spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of Mother Earth, school, tribe, and nation, because that's what we are. So we're spiritually sovereign, I, indigenous, C, creditors of me, of Mother Earth. So spiritually sovereign, I see me. I see myself spiritually sovereign. Spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of Mother Earth, tribe, school, and nation. So contact me if you'd like to become a member or join the school or anything like that, or help me administer the school. You can contact me at godlivesinOurheart@hotmail.com. godlivesinOurheart@hotmail.com, or contact me on Skype, Archangel, ARCH Angel, all together, Archangel, point, period, Macintosh, MAKINTOCH, and contact me through Skype and we can talk through there. They don't let me see my inbox messages on YouTube much, or my comments much, so it's not the best way to contact me, although sometimes you will reach me through there, and I'll do my best to reach to you through there too. Also, I have like 3 or 4 different YouTube pages, because they've been invading and intruding on my pages and deleting my pages because of the stuff I've been spreading. You can check me out on www.youtube.com. Write this down, because you may not have seen some of the stuff on my page there. youtube.com/1 Archangel Macintosh. The numerical number 1 Archangel Macintosh. The other one is Archangel Macintosh. And the page that you're seeing me on right now is Ahaya Yeshaya, which is my other page as well. Ahaya Yeshaya. You can check it out. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. So those paperwork we've been learning, like the security agreement, is a form of pledge. We're going to be learning about defaults, notice of defaults, notice of non-response, punishments, punitive damages. We're going to be learning about terminating contracts, divorce, deeds, which is important, a right doing. Deeds are also forms of mortgages, deed of trust, trust deed. We're going to be learning about setting policies, policing. We're going to be learning about parties of interest, because there's no case without parties of interest, and corpus delicti or delicti, which is an actual body. Corpus delicti is in Latin. It means an actual body, a body of substance. If there's no corpus delicti or corpus delicti, there's no party of interest. There's no real parties in the case. And banks and companies and corporations and stuff like that, they're fictitious entities, which mean they're dead. They're not corpus delictis, which mean they're not there. They don't exist. They're not there. So you have to treat houses and stuff like that as if the banks are dead. Fictitious entities cannot own property. Only real people can. Only natural people can. Therefore, they have to put you under the jurisdiction of a fictitious identity and entity in order to implement fictitious laws on you. They're pretty much saying you're dead, and that's what the death certificate is, aka birth certificate, which means putting something at a stop, anchored down. We're going to be learning about proposals, how to propose deals and propose offers. Partnership, which is another form of marriage. Membership, which is another form of citizenship, marriage and all that. Relationship, which is another form of contract and all that. How to set provisions, which is another form of proposing. Conditions, consent. Terms, conditions, and agreements. Policy. We're going to be learning about providing proof, because we need to provide proof and stuff like that, and provide scams, fraud, obligations, let me see, transfer of, pardon me, we're going to be learning about transfer of property, how property transfer from one person to another person, especially when you consent or are silent. Pardon me, there's something right here I'm looking at. Yeah, definitely learning how property transfers through silence. We're going to be learning about reserving rights. We're going to be learning about assuring that we're speaking the truth, affirming that we're speaking the truth. Aman. Aman means I affirm, I verify, I testify to that, true witness. We're going to be learning about vows, which are promises and stipulations, and commitment, which is very important. And pretty much what we're looking for with all of this is for relief. We're looking for correction, to correct the wrongdoings, fix whatever's wrong, to repair, to regather ourselves, to remember, to heal. We're looking for remedy overall, legal remedy, financial remedy, justice, because that's what justice is remedy. We're looking for our cure, redress, which means a second chance to address the accusations and stuff like that. And this is what we're doing pretty much. Alright. What we're doing also is examining the truth. You definitely got to examine the truth and asking to examine proof. Where's the proof against me? Let me examine the actual proof and substance. We're questioning. You don't answer anybody in the court or any officer. Answer the officers in the court and the judge with a question. Like if they say, where's your license and registration? Is there a law stating that I need a license to travel in my own private property? And does it state that I need license to drive in my private property? Answer questions with no answers. Requesting for proof and truth and stuff like that. So examination, questions, requests, demanding. They dismiss cases and demanding proof, demanding for relief, demanding for justice, stating truths, because that's what you're going to be doing, stating truths in your affidavits and stuff like that, demanding stuff, requesting stuff, questioning, examining, proclaiming, declaring, and using the record. So you're proclaiming truth on and for the record, declaring truth on and for the record, requesting for truth on and for the record. I would like to see the proof and evidence for this case on and for the record. And on and for the record, do you have an oath of office? Do you have an oath to even be in office? You know, on and for the record, do you know that you're practicing law from the bench? That you're actually practicing and you're a lawyer and not actually a party of interest in the case? On and for the record. Let me see. We're also going to be understanding and requesting clear understanding of terms and conditions, which is full disclosure, full clear understanding. We're going to be learning about lawyers and stuff like that, scribes and Pharisees. Scribes are people who are like legislators, people who make laws out of thin air. Lawyers are liars, public defenders, pretenders, which are Pharisees. Pardon me, they're like scribes as well, or studiers of scribes. Pharisees are like presidents, pharaohs, presidents and stuff like that. So you're going to be learning about them, the heathens. And lawyers are pretty much studying law. They're interpreting law. They're not really lawyers and stuff. They don't really know the law. They're practicing. They're still studying. That's why they have to have a license to practice law. Especially because they're practicing foreign fictitious law, which is the British Admiralty Registry laws. So they need permission to be using their copywritten law, because that law is copywritten as well as UCC, and that's why I don't use UCC much anymore. So they're practicing law, and they're doctors of law. They're supposed to be healing law and bringing justice. They're supposed to be healing things and bringing remedy. They're doctors of law. They're supposed to patch things up, but yet they're horrible at doing it. And we're seeking remedy. Alright, and I know we're still in the intro. Let me see. There's another thing that I wanted to cover up. Alright, we're also going to be learning about exhibits, exhibition, which is proof, exhibits, exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C, or attachment A, attachment B, attachment C. That's what we call it. It's best to call it exhibit, because exhibit means to show, to produce, to inspect, to display, to show, to produce, to inspect, to display. So you want to put your proof, you know, hey, I'm the copyright owner and trademark owner of so-called property and stuff since this date, blah, blah, blah. Look at exhibit A or attachment A, which would be my copyright attached to it. The copyright annexed thereto. We're going to be learning how to administer as a remedy, because we're using the exhibits and attachments to administer as a remedy. Exhibit is also to demonstrate, to manifest, to show proof, to prove, to express, and to discover. Because you're demanding discovery. You're demanding that there's proof, that they exhibit their proof, that they show you their proof. Where's their proof? What do they have attached to their claim? Where's the proof of claim? We're also going to be learning about the trickery in the system, because there's a lot of trickery in the system, which is a sign of Satan, deception, mischief. They're withholding our property and withholding our stuff without our consent and permission. Malignity, betrayal, dishonesty, the system being tainted, the law being tainted, the whole system being infiltrated, fraudulent claims, feigned accusations, which mean imaginable accusations, pretending, fairy tale, inventing and making up law, which all mean feigned accusations, feigned, which is trickery. They're dispossessing our property without our permission, depriving us of our right without permission, hindering us of free travel from point A to point B, and hindering us from exercising our natural common law rights, universal rights, divine rights, godly rights, hindering us from enjoying our private property and our prizes, especially depriving us or attempting to deprive us of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They're literally crippling us because of that. Many people don't know their rights. Therefore, I am literally giving you crutches right now to build a foundation until you can be able to walk on your own 2 feet without all this information and stuff like that. Because we all been crippled pretty much. They're trying to discredit us by crippling us. Like, oh, you see, he's not competent enough to speak. He don't even know what he's saying. He don't even know what he just said. Trying to dishonor you and defraud you. To emasculate, which to emasculate means to deprive. So they're emasculating us. Emasculate, pardon me, they're emasculating us, which means depriving us and dishonoring us. So let me see before we continue on with the next part. Alright, so in the next part of this video, we're going to go into detail about my proof and what the laws are based on the Holy Bible and the truth, which is my authority and the authority over all men, because the creator of that book is the one who created the sun, the stars, the moon, the galaxies, dimension, your mind, your breath, your intuition, your feelings, your heart, your body, and set everything in his own time, order and harmony. So therefore his book of law is in compliance with the universe. You know what I'm saying? The Bible teaches you how to garden, how to hunt, when to hunt, teaches you about season, times, wisdom, instruction, discipline, marriage, contract, everything, man. So I'm going to use it as a form of a weapon against these powers that are be, because we're facing principles and powers and spiritualities of dark forces, and we're not dealing with flesh now. We're dealing with intellect, we're dealing with spirit, mind, faith, confidence, and stuff like that. And the only way to beat this is with light, because that's the only thing they don't got. You know, they're wise darkness, but they're foolish light, very foolish light, which means they have no light at all. You see, it's a contradiction, it's oxymoron. And well, we'll continue on the next video. Hope this gave you a basic foundation of what we're going to get into. Check out my other videos. If you would like to donate to me for the cause or anything, please contact me. I accept checks, money orders, and Western Union. Contact me anytime. I hope you guys enjoy this and come back for more. Namaste, Shalom, and may the Most High, Abba Allahaya, bless you. All praise to the Most High. Tune in to part 3. Aman.